Hello, this is Al, aka Dusty Brick Brown from the Common Calling Roundtable Discussion, and I'm coming to you with a haul video. This is the first time that I've actually done a haul video for the channel. We're wanting to put some new content, some fresh content, something different that we haven't done. So we're working on just bringing some new content to you all for your optical orbs and your ears to enjoy. These particular books that I'm about to show you have been picked up over the last week and a half. This is not the totality of my comics that I need to get. The majority of books that you're going to see came from a store by the name of Primetime Gaming here in Macon, Georgia. Shout out to Primetime Gaming. It's going to be a combination of dollar books, back issues, and some new stuff. Also have some special books that I've been looking for. Shout out to the host of the Comic Calling Roundtable Discussion, Matt Odom, for picking a couple of these books for me, courtesy of Dave's Comics, I think, in Fayetteville. And one or two of them actually came from eBay. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start by showing the first book, which is Fantastic Four 511. This particular book is actually for a IG community member, comic community member by the name of Jim Boatwright. He's been looking for this particular book for quite some time. Got out of the dollar bin. It holds some significance to him. He's also a fan of the Fantastic Four, as well as Jack Kirby. It has something to do with Jack Kirby. I don't know what it is specifically. He mentioned it, but I don't remember specifically. But Boat, this is for you. So whenever I get an opportunity, I'll get this mailed out to you. Now, the next couple of books that I'm going to show are actually books that have completed runs. Whether they be miniseries or volumes of a particular run that I'm collecting. The first book I'm going to show is Sabretooth, number 2. I already own issues 1 and 3. However, I needed issues 2 and 4. So I picked up Sabretooth number 2 and I also picked up Sabretooth number 4. So these particular books are currently, they complete my run for this particular book. I just noticed that right there. I don't know if that's part of the actual book or if there was some tape that was torn off. I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit closer. Nonetheless, I completed the run. Hopefully that's just part of what the book is supposed to be. If not, I'll look for another one. The next set of books is actually going to be the same thing. This is a mini-series by the name of Chamber. Jonathan Sizemore, he actually made his appearance in Generation X back in the 90s. He had a miniseries. There were several books that came out. Icons, Magneto, Iceman, I can't think of anyone else. But I picked up Chamber. I had issues 1 and 2 of that. I needed issue 3, so I picked up issue 3. I also picked up issue 4. So these particular books complete the run for this miniseries. So I'm good to go with that. Next book's going to be DC. Well, the next 2 books, rather. I picked up these. Firestorm, the Nuclear Man. I'm a huge fan of Firestorm. This is Firestorm number 66. Him on the cover fighting Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. He is a very underrated, underutilized character. Firestorm, with his power set, should be a major player in the DC universe, but he's not. But I'm still a fan of him, as well as Shazam. So Firestorm, the Nuclear Man number 66. Also Firestorm, the Nuclear Man number 100. These particular books pretty much clear the run that I have of the Fury of Firestorm, or Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, rather, from issues 1 to 100. So completed that run, and that's volume 2, as a matter of fact. The next 2 books are Marvel books. Skipping to Marvel again. Generation X number 67 and Generation X number 68. These 2 books also complete a run for Generation X volume 1. So I've completed that particular run. I can't remember where it ends, but these books were the only 2 books that I needed. I caught heck trying to find these books. I found them at Primetime Gaming at a place, well, in an area where I didn't expect to find them. They were $1, so I'm good to go. Now, for those that don't know, for me, I'm a huge X-Men fan, and my goal is to actually collect each volume 1 of every major X-Men title in Marvel. That goes for Uncanny, that goes for the 90s Jim Lee run, Generation X, X Factor, X Force. You get the idea. I've completed 3 of the runs for Generation X, New Mutants, and Excalibur #1 so far. And the other ones, I really don't have a few books to complete, with the exception of Uncanny. Skipping back to DC, I picked up Green Lantern 138, 141, and 142. Now, the interesting thing about Green Lantern, back in October of last year, if you've been following us on Instagram, we had a huge pickup, a come up rather. There was a guy here in Macon, he no longer wanted his comic books, and he had probably about 15 to 20 long boxes. So myself, Xavier, Larry, Matt, and a couple other people, we actually had the opportunity or the pleasure to go through the collection and get what we wanted. So I picked up a lot of Green Lantern stuff. Been a fan of the actual character since Justice League, but I knew about him, as far as Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, I can't remember his John Stewart. So I knew about those particular characters, or those that have Kilowog, those who've taken on the Green Lantern mantle. But by me actually getting those books, I decided to go ahead and fill that run. So not really sure how many of these I need, but I'm getting closer to completing that run. Now, I didn't know this book existed. He's one of my favorite X-Men, Colossus. This is a one-shot. It's a one-shot Colossus, of course. This is 90s goodness, the way everything's set up with the cover and whatnot. But this is a one-shot for Colossus, aka Piotr Rasputin. Again, he's one of my favorite X-Men, so I figured I'd pick that up. This was only $1. Next is some Image goodness. Wildcats #1. This is some Jim Lee goodness back from the 90s. I was a huge fan of a lot of the Image books when they came out. Back in the 90s, I collected Wildcats, I collected Cyberforce, Stormwatch, and I ain't gonna lie, I collected Youngblood, Brigade, those books, mostly teen books. So yeah, as far as it goes, this was a no-brainer. It was $1. Grifter, from what I understand, is supposed to show up in Batman 100. I don't know if that's true. I heard it earlier today, but nonetheless, this would be his first appearance. So $1, you can't beat that with a stick. Plus, I have most of that run as well. I'm missing probably about 7 or 8 issues of that run. Next up, Flash TV special. This is Wesley Shipp back in the 90s. This was a great show for those who have not seen it. It was very short-lived. However, it was a really good show. And back for the time frame that it came on, the special effects were pretty jam up. But yeah, I picked this one up. This was also $1. I figure if I ever see it, if I ever go to a con and he's there, I'd get it signed and slabbed. It's in really good condition. Not really sure what the grade would be, but no, there's no blemishes, no tick marks, no spine damage or anything. And for $1, you can't beat it with a stick. Part of TV nostalgia. All right. Also picked up Justice League 24. With that whole come up of 2019, I picked up a lot of Justice League books, some Justice Society books, Justice League International. So I'm just filling holes. I saw this one book, and back in the day, when I first started collecting comic books, I was a fan of Justice Society, and then a cousin of mine read Justice League, and I read a comic book that actually had the Crime Syndicate in it. So I actually like the Crime Syndicate better than the Justice League. Don't really like Superman. I'm not a fan of his, even though I got another book that's coming up next. That's a Superman book. But I actually like Ultraman because he was an evil dude. He's kind of like that Homelander type character, which is, of course, with the boys or whatnot. But Justice League 24, got the Crime Syndicate on here looking crispy and clean. That was also $1. And speaking of Superman 310. Basically, I just picked this one up. I was going through the dollar bin and I looked at it and I'm like, for one, Superman's getting dusted. And for whatever reason, his Silver, Bronze Age, most of those books, you always see Superman getting dealt with on the cover. But he's like the strongest Joker in DC Comics, or one of the strongest individuals, period. But this is actually a key. This is the first appearance of the second Metallo. And I kind of picked up on it when I saw the book. I'm like, man, this kind of looks like it might be a key. So I pulled up my key collector app, and yeah, it's a key. So it's probably not going to be worth anything, but the simple fact that it's a Superman book, he getting dealt with, and it's the first appearance of the second Metallo, $1, you can't beat that with a stick. All right, so I'm going to move on to some new stuff, and I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Let's see here. Death Metal Trinity Crisis. I'm a huge fan of the Death Metal series. I've been collecting it since the original Dark Knight's Death Metal. Bought all the one-shots, Batman Who Laughs, Red Death, Doomsday Batman. And I actually jumped ship, of course, when the Death Metal series started. You know, I was really hot about that Robin King. I ended up getting a copy for cover price, which is cool, first print. But nonetheless, this is Trinity Crisis, and this is actually a pretty good read. It's like an Elseworlds, multiple universes, that type of thing. Source Wall. I can't remember her name, but the main female baddie that's going on right now, Perpetua, yeah, that's her name. But this is a pretty good read. If you haven't read Death Metal or Dark Knight's Metal, if you can't find their individual issues, trade paperback, this just started a couple of months ago. So barring the issue with Robin King, you might be able to find these for cover price still. Next book is X-Men number 12. Now, I normally get this from Origin Story because I have a pull list with them. However, because it's supposed to be a new character, the introduction of a new character in this book. Now, I don't know who it is. I actually have to get caught up on my X-Men reading of the new X series. I'm way behind, so hopefully I can get caught up this week. But I just like the cover, so if anything, I'll probably pick up an extra copy of this when I go up to Origin. The next is Deceased Dead Planet number 1. I'm mainly a Marvel guy, but DC, last probably 5 or 6 years, I've been buying a lot of DC. I gravitated towards Deceased the same way I did with Dark Metal. I already have like the A cover and the movie variant of this particular book. I just bought it because it was a blank variant cover. I would like to get a zombie Batman or a zombie Shazam, sketched on here one day. So maybe, I'll take this to a major con and see if I can get an artist to do that for me. But that's the reason why I bought this one. We only find them when they're dead. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this book. This book is written by Al Ewing. Of course, he is the scribe of the Immortal Hope, which is one book that I started late, but I actually started collecting that, and I'm gonna go back and try to get all the other issues from like 1 to 26. I think those are the ones I need, and I don't really care if they're second or third prints at this point. But I keep hearing that the story is excellent. But he, of course, writes this. I heard bits and pieces of what happened. I haven't read it yet, but if it's good, I'll probably pick up another copy and store it away. Because this kind of stuff lately has been getting a lot of buzz. A lot of independent titles are becoming option for TV shows and movies. So I'll let y'all know what I think about this as soon as I read it. Speaking of the Immortal Hulk, got Immortal Hulk 0. I picked this one up not too long ago, and this book, I'm not really sure what's going on. I think with Immortal Hulk, what I'm going to do when I pick up the other books, the back issues that I need, that's when I'll start reading it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep collecting them and buy the back issues. And once I get everything from 1 up to 26, I'll just catch up and read from there. But I keep hearing from other places, videos and articles that this has been a phenomenal read, that Al Ewing has really done a lot for the Hulk as well as She-Hulk. So I got the timeless copy, the Alex Ross of this, the Immortal Hulk 37. I got that waiting for me at origin story. Giant Size XMen Storm #1. This is the Jim Bartell variant. I wanted to get all 3 versions of this. I picked this up from Primetime Gaming for cover price. I have a copy of this on hold for me at Origin Story, along with the Storm variant, the Alex Ross Timeless variant, and the A cover. I just wanted these covers. I'm just getting into a point to where Fresh Princess is one of the IG community members, comic community members, and she's a huge Storm fan, and I'm starting to appreciate Storm covers. So I decided to pick this book up, and I'm also going to pick up the other 2 as well. Batman 1027. This is the Adam Hughes variant of this book. It's $9.99, but it's a thick book. I've been reading a lot of Batman related stuff lately. He's never really been on my radar till about maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I started The Dark Knight's Metal. Batman is a pretty cool character. I like him. I have issue with some of the things that he's done and how he's written, but for the most part, I like his stories because he is very, very shrewd, crafty, and intelligent. And for a cat that doesn't have superpowers, this dude gets over almost every time. So I'll probably pick up another copy of this, another variant, once it dies down, because I know most comic stores that I've been to, they ordered a boatload of these books. So I'm pretty sure at some point, some of the versions of the variant covers will probably get marked down. And when they do, I'll buy one to read and one to put up. Right now, I'll probably leave this one alone until I get another copy. Now, next up is the special stuff that I got. I want to thank Matt Odom first and foremost, the host of the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. He picked up a couple of these books from Dave's Comics in Fayetteville. If you live in Georgia and you live in that area, please go by Dave's Comics. This dude is amazing. The prices that he has are incredible. I picked up X-Men 94 from him back in February at a comic convention down in Columbus, Georgia, and I got that book for a steal. Maybe my next haul, I'll probably show it at the tail end of the video. But he picked up the following books for me. But actually, before that, let me show the book that I actually received from eBay. I am an X-Men collector, as indicated before. My goal is to collect the entire run of Volume 1, Uncanny XMen. Right now, I'm short 44 issues. As far as the giant size, of course, I need giant size 1, which is not in the scope at this point. However, I do plan on picking it up. So I did get this book here, Giant Size XMen #2. Got this off eBay. It is in pretty decent condition. It's got $7 on the price tag, but I really didn't talk them down. But I sent a making offer price of $5.50 and they accepted it. Shipping was like $4, so I paid close to $8 for the book, including shipping. A little bit around $9. But anyway, this goes into the collection. Of course, this is one step closer to meeting my goal for the entire run of the first volume of Uncanny XMen. Now, these next books I got from Dave's Comics through Matt. The first one I actually put on a video. If you go through our videos, there was an X-Men video that I did about 2 months ago, and I got to do a follow-up to that one in regards to this particular book here, Marvel Team Up #1, starring Spider-Man and the X-Men. This is actually a key. The significance behind this book is the first time that the X-Men teamed up with Spider-Man after Giant Size X-Men. So this would technically be one of their first appearances as a team outside of the X-Men comic book or the X-Men continuity. So he paid $10 for it. He A-okayed it to me because he knew it was a book that I had been looking for. It's in pretty decent condition. Of course, this is going to be a reader. If I come across a better copy as far as a grade, I'll get that slab. Next up is Justice League 36. This is a B variant. I can't remember who did the actual variant. But this is essentially a Cyborg Shazam B cover variant. As you can see, both of them are playing video games. And it looks like Shazam's getting dusted. Even though he's the kid, he should have the better reflexes. But Cyborg is dusting him up. But yeah, I saw this one on a video that Matt was doing while he was at Days Comics, and I asked him to get it for me if it was a reasonably priced book, and it was. So he got it for me. Last but not least is a book that I've been pining over forever, for a long time, at least for the last 8 months to a year. And shout out to Matt again for getting this book for me. He got it up at Dave's, and he got it for a really good price. This one is going to be a book that I am definitely going to get graded and slabbed. But this book is a gorgeous book. I love the cover, and I wish it was actually a Virgin variant when it came out. But it would be Black Panther, number 18. This is the Michael Turner variant. This is a beautiful book. I mean, if I can get this in poster form, this cover in a movie poster form, I would definitely purchase it. Beautiful book. It is gorgeous. This is one of the best Storm covers I have ever seen, bar none. Whether it be her miniseries, Uncanny, what have you, doesn't matter. This is the creme de la creme, in my opinion. And again, this is one of the books that I am going to grade. I would have actually sent it to the shop, to Primetime Gaming, and I might just do that since I've done the video. Go ahead and get this graded. But yeah, I wanted to do this video first and then get it sent off. But yeah, I love this book, and it will most definitely be graded and slabbed. So, but that's it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. If you're not a member, or a subscriber of the Comic Calling Roundtable discussion, please subscribe and share, and tell a friend or a few friends, hey, some cats, man, they doing some really good stuff on YouTube. We love what we do. We love collecting, and we love talking about the whole art and hobby of collecting and everything else that surrounds it, pop culture, what have you. So please like, share, subscribe once again. This is going to be it for me. My name is Al with the Comic Calling Roundtable discussion, and I hope you all are enjoying yourselves and whatever you're doing. Make it a great day. Take care. Peace.